I would like to show the following game to prove some ideas. The first idea is that I don't think we can really improve analyzing games because the problem is we use the engine to know the truth. We don't have any other way to know the truth that through playing with an engine. And if we play with an engine, the game, we are not going to really discover the truth. Why? Because we are not that deep, and most of all, we are not finding our own moves. So how will I find the right move when I wasn't able to find it in the comfortable place like my home, analyzing at my own pace? How will I find it in a tournament game? That's the point, right? So here, this game was played in 1966, is a miniature, which means 25 moves or less. It was played between Abels Hank and Whitley Andrew Jonathan. Black won. It was played in Niemeyer in Groningen for the under 21, so maybe it was a world championship under 21. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Here, for example, okay, I know the theory today. The theory today tells me that I should play bishop takes c3. That I'm sure. The problem, however, is that we have discovered that the theory today, and here I'm using Fritz 19 opening library book, so it's the best. That after these moves that are the most played, we are at move 9, in reality white wins 64% of the time, so we should avoid it. We should avoid this kind of French, probably, right? But we don't know which one we should play then. However, Mr. Whitley played bishop a5, to which we ever played b4, c takes d4, b takes a5, tac, tac, tac. Now, you say, why are you showing a game between two unknown players? Because we, 99% of the players that play in tournaments, we are unknown players. Nobody will ever care about our games or something. They will not really appear in magazines or in books, and nobody will write a biography about us. So these are the games we should see, because these are the games we actually play, right? With all due respect for the grandmasters and other title players, I don't care. They are the best. Okay, blah blah blah. I don't care. I need to I want to improve in the game. I want to see what really works in the improvement and what doesn't. Okay, so queen takes g7, rook g8, queen takes h7. Up to here, honestly, I think many games have been played more or less in similar position, different. I saw Botwinnik was playing like that, but probably a little better. He wasn't taking on c3, he was keeping the tension, so that was important. Knight d7 is also interesting, because then you must ask yourself how will black develop this piece, right, at a certain point, because that is the bad bishop. Knight f3, queen c7, no? And this is very interesting, because clearly it's an attack, oops, sorry, not here, it's an attack on e5, no? So this is what must be done at a certain point. And of course, white defense. This is interesting, track. Now, I would like to make you an example, because many people, and here is why I want to demonstrate to you that you cannot really improve if there is not another human, a more advanced one, explaining you some concept. For example, you could have said, instead of playing queen h5, what happens if I play bishop b5? Isn't that a good move? No, it's not a good move. But why, you say, it's not a good move? Well, let me tell you. Because this bishop controls all these squares. So here you're going to try to exchange it with this bishop that controls only this square. So it doesn't make any sense, right? It would make instead much more sense to put it here in d3, because then you can control all the squares. And so we have a concept of good bishop, this one, and bad bishop, this one. That is bad, very bad, bad bishop. So, and this concept cannot be explained to you by an engine, it can only be explained to you by a human player that make you reason upon what is good to exchange or not. So this move, bishop b5, is clearly not good because black will play this. You play this, tac, tac. Maybe this queen takes d7 is not good, and I admit it. It's probably better king takes d7. No? Why? Because this queen here is very important. He can attack this, he can go, let's say, here and block this from castling. He can do a lot of things on that square. So also this probably cannot be given to you by a engine, but only by a chess player. So again, let's go back into the game, and I want to show you another couple of things that I believe are important. And now there is a mistake by white. Pause the video and try to find out how you would play. Because also this is interesting, you know. They tell you that you should not play this move because you're putting a pawn away from the center, right? Instead, you should play this move because you're bringing the pawn toward the center. And so it makes more sense. But there is a problem. If you play h takes g3, can you guess what black is going to play? And when I pause like this, you can pause the video and try to find out. It's gonna play rook h8. And now if you remove the queen, he's losing not one rook, but probably a lot of more, because it becomes a mess, the position, right? So the only thing he can do is this, right? Play, play, and now there is this move, right? Now, this is the funny thing, you know, that I tell you, I choose this game out of many from 1966 because there were some comments made in 1966 when they didn't have an engine and they didn't know what the truth was about the position. In this position, do you think white or black is better without using an engine? Well, you think black is better because has the queen. No, white is better. And if you would try to play this position against an engine, you would find out very easily that you would lose. Can you imagine? You would lose in this position. What are the reasons why black is worse? Very simple. Because this and this are out of the game. So yes, it's true that you have this queen, but white pieces are all much more active than yours. And so we are speaking of 4 pieces against 1. You understand the problem. Not only, I would like to show you another thing that is really interesting, because at this point I tell you, try to guess what is the next move by white, because in that time they consider that move wrong. When I analyze this game with the engine would have played it without even thinking. Without even thinking. Instead, they propose another move that is a mistake, which is a mistake. So, the move that they show that was a mistake was this. Instead, this is a very nice trap. Obviously, you cannot take, because if you take, there will be rook h7 that kill your queen. So that's simple like this. But the problem was that they thought to play this move that it's a mistake. And you say, why it's a mistake? Watch. And now black has a decisive advantage. So the difference is huge, as you can see. We have gone from here that white is practically winning, no? Or he has a good advantage, to this position that white is not winning but is losing. And there is another move I didn't even consider instead of this one, and the move is this one, King e2. King e2 is interesting because practically gives kind of equality to black or white. In any case, the equality is important. Also, if it's not the best move. Probably the best move, I repeat, is this one. But in 1966, they didn't believe this was the right move. Not only, they gave to the following move by black, bishop d7, an exclamation point saying that this was a good move. Instead, this is not a good move at all. Sorry again. The good move is something like this, queen c5. Queen c5 is probably the best for black, but again, white is not losing the advantage, okay? So this is not good. And why it's not good? Let me show you. Tack, tack. At this moment, white is better, no? And here is the thing, if you didn't have an engine, how you would evaluate the position? Would you still think that black is better? Is not, okay? But now, white makes a mistake, and in that time, they didn't know it was a mistake, okay? He plays this move, not so good. Queen c4, tack, queen b5, tack, queen takes a5, and now there is a blunder by white which makes the game over. But they didn't realize it, that it was this blunder that changed totally the evaluation. So this is the problem. Up to this point here, just to give an example, white is still winning. If you had to play this against an engine, he will shred you to pieces. He will shred you to pieces. Or it will shred you to pieces. So instead, and in the end, because humans don't have any idea who is better and who is worse, we have a situation here that after this move, if white plays the right move, which could be something else, I don't know, it could be maybe this one, rook c1, something else. You just need to play something else, okay? But definitely it doesn't have to play king d1. King d1 is a wrong move. And so, if he played something else, the game is not over. But here it's over, so it's kind of interesting, right? And again, if I can tell you, from 1966, because I saw the comments, they didn't realize where the mistakes were. Instead, with the engine, we can see it right away. And that makes all the difference. But again, I didn't find the moves. The guys in 1966 didn't find the moves. The engine found the moves. So how am I going to actually improve if I cannot even find the right moves over the board, and if an engine will shred me to pieces 100% of the time, also if I try other variations? Because I could try to play against the engine and I lose all the time. In this position, that maybe you can consider that white is worse. You can think, oh, white is worse, okay. Play it against an engine and see if white is really worse, right? Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video and the ideas behind it.